Tilsen.
I'd like to thank Senator Thune for that rather gracious introduction. I only want to make one correction is I'm not a tribal member. I'm a new guy there. All my kids and grandchildren are tribal members, but I've only been there for 40 years. I'd also like to thank Chairwoman Heidekamp and other distinguished members of the committee. I'm here today as the co-founder and president of Native American Natural Foods. I've worked on and around the Pine Ridge Reservation for about 30 years. Pine Ridge is well known as one of the poorest places in America where the unemployment rate has never been lower than 65%. This 30-plus years of work has given me a first-hand knowledge of the impact of our federal government's economic development programs in Indian country, and I'll try to share with you today. As the father of 3 children who are members of the tribe and 6 grandchildren, it is their future that motivates me and whose interests I represent here today. I know that I'm also a social entrepreneur who believes that at this critical time in history, we must and can build sustainable, just economies that preserve our air, water, and land. I know that each and every business decision we make has to focus on what is best for the greater good for our grandchildren, yours and mine alike. As social entrepreneurs, we look at business as a tool to address social needs. We operate on more than just the financial bottom line, and we listen to the market for opportunity to create change. This is why my business partner, Carlene Hunter, and I launched Native American Natural Foods. We created a national brand in the middle of a food desert in one of the most geographically, economically isolated places in America on the Pine Ridge Indian Reservation. We did this with purpose and intention. We understood the social problems, the poverty, the barriers to business success. We live with them every day. So we chose to focus on the positive assets in our community. We wanted to see if we could build a brand that could one day become strong enough to break the isolation of the reservation and to have a positive impact on the health of the people, the land, and the buffalo. This led us to an idea. Could we take the Lakota people's ancestral knowledge of the perfect portable energy food and create a new brand that shared the positive history of healthy food, stewardship of the land, air, water, and respect for the buffalo as the givers of life, and turn it into a high-value natural brand? Then we took the entrepreneurial step of putting everything at risk and created the Tonka Bar. Today I'm proud to share with you that the Tonka Bar is sold on over 375 Indian reservations, over 6,000 retailers, including Whole Foods, Costco, Natural Grocers, National Parks, and many, many more. We've created a learning company that is focused on quality natural products, best-in-class customer service, empowering our employees to become owners. We are an innovator of a new category in this emerging category of meat bar snacks. We have created the category only over 7 years ago. The Tonka Bar is the first protein bar with real meat in it, the first meat snack with real fruit, and the only 100% buffalo fruit bar. We are also the only certified Native American natural product that is distributed nationally, and as you said, we've won many national awards. We're a mission-driven company. We've created 9 full-time jobs on the reservation. When we started, none of our employees had ever worked in the natural food industry. But given the opportunity tied with training, tools to succeed, and our employees are now on track to become managers and soon owners of the company. We have created a profitable business model, but we have only begun to have our desired impact on the community. Our next step is we need to refinance for growth, expand our product offering, increase our investments in marketing, invest in management level training, and grow the number of Native American buffalo. We need to recruit more young people into raising buffalo, as it's a fast-growing opportunity. In order to address this, we have joined forces with the American Indian Land Tenure Foundation to launch the Tonka Fund. It's a new national campaign to return buffalo to the lives, lands, and economy of Indian people. It is critical that we find a way for USDA to play an important role in bringing the buffalo back into the economy. The challenges of lack of basic infrastructure, shortfalls of capital, training resources, inadequate, undependable internet, access to land and markets for Native American natural foods are many. But we are a microcosm of the bigger challenge facing Native American communities. I want to jump ahead to point out that the Oglala Sioux Tribe with the Thunder Valley Community Development Corporation has completed a regional plan. And they've created a regional plan for sustainability, and they've created a roadmap to do this. We're one of the few companies that was able to participate fully in the creation of this regional plan, but then the regional plan isn't funded. So it's another example of what happens when you have a lot of young people, over 23 organizations participated in this, but we're not even close to recognizing the needs. The plan shows that every single community on the Pine Ridge Indian Reservation is at capacity. And I want to point out that we have 11 of the poorest counties in the United States in South Dakota. And these are all Native American communities. And the thing that is different than the challenges we have is the population in the Native communities is growing faster than anywhere else. It's the only rural communities in our state that are growing. But we lack, it's estimated that the Oglala Sioux Tribe lacks over 5,000 houses. The current HUD funding for houses is not even enough to keep up with the current growth of the population. In whether it's current infrastructure, housing, expanding infrastructure, there's severe shortfall that this new regional planning initiative is really critical for the next step for our business, but the bigger community. And we're not just an isolated business. We cannot succeed and grow without the necessary infrastructure. And did I just go over my time?
But it was going so well, we didn't say anything.
I'll just keep going then. I guess that's my biggest point, is that the average age in Indian country is about 25. People are returning to the reservation, but we're not investing in the future, the hopes, the dreams of these young people. And the opportunity is tremendous, but the gap between what is available to them and what is needed is just enormous. As an interested observer to federal programs, I've seen many of these types of projects where you get the community excited, there's a lot of research, a lot of planning, but then on the federal level, the follow-through is not there. And we're hopeful that this new change in the Farm Bill is going to open up the opportunity to help meet that need. I also want to point out that one of the biggest changes that I think could add to success of entrepreneurial development in Indian country is start to back away from grants and figure out a way to allow people to earn equity. That's what we're doing with our company. If we're going to talk about wealth creation, we have to get beyond job creation, and we have to figure out a way to provide equity. I think equity will have a bigger multiplier effect on the local economy. In the long term, it'll have a better impact on the national debt. And it's really necessary for the next step, which means we're going to have to take more risk. We might have to balance that with the accountability, but we do have to figure out a way to take more risk. I guess my last thing I just want to say is that climate change is no longer a debate. The only decision left will be, will you, our elected leaders, have the courage to lead us to a new sustainable economy? We realize that the economic forces to maintain the status quo may seem stronger than gravity itself, but change can happen. The majority of people support it. Native communities across South Dakota are unified in their opposition to uranium mining in the Black Hills and the XL energy fight. But we often ignore Native communities when they stand with the water and land. And in fact, we've punished them both economically and politically for their position to protect air, water, and land. And I think we now need to take a step back and learn from them. That's what we're doing with our company. And I'd like to urge you as our leaders to do the same.
Thank you, Mr. Tilsen. Mr. Fluharty?
Thank you, Madam Chairman.